And last night we explored the way gold and silver prices are rising. Tonight, K2's Nima Vidadi joins us with part 2 of his special report.
Well, thank you, Denise. Both of the gold advocates I spoke to for the story say gold is not necessarily an investment. They say instead it's a store of value, a way to protect and preserve wealth.
Owning these metals is not so much an investment as it is an insurance policy. It serves the purpose of being something trustworthy that we don't have to worry about governments being able to produce just out of thin air the way they do Federal Reserve notes.
Have you ever heard someone reminisce about when a candy bar cost a nickel or when a gallon of gas was less than $1? An ounce of gold 100 years ago could buy an expensive men's suit, and it can still do the same thing today.
People are protecting the value of their money. The dollar is worth 50% of what it was just a few years ago.
Gold and silver, however, are not used as currency in daily transactions for a number of reasons. First, the Legal Tender Act gives Federal Reserve notes legal preference as currency. Also, precious metals such as gold and silver can be subject to capital gains tax.
When you cash out, you have to file on your 1040 income tax return a long-term or short-term capital gain, and you pay income taxes on your profit.
But the president of the World Bank said today that gold is now being used and viewed as a monetary asset. Rockwell agrees that there's a shift going on in monetary thinking.
I think gold is going to be money again. I don't think there's anything the government can do to prevent that from happening. It's people power. It's people money. It's not government money. It's money in the hands of the people that can't be debauched.
The value of paper money, on the other hand, is controlled by the Federal Reserve, and many are starting to question the effectiveness of the central bank's policies.
The boom and the crisis came about because people spend too much and consume too much and borrow too much. And now, to get out of it, we want people, to consume more and to borrow more and to spend more. Now, what kind of sense does that make? Well, it does, but it takes an economist to understand it.
Well, not all economists. A growing group of economists described as the Austrian school say Ben Bernanke's reasoning does not make sense. They criticize what's known as Keynesian economics.
And they think that prosperity comes from borrowing and spending. Of course, it doesn't come from borrowing or spending. It comes from saving and investing.
The Austrian school says central economic planning, especially when it comes to the money supply, misdirects investors, misallocates resources, and causes the boom and bust cycle.
We don't need guys and agencies in Washington running our lives. It's, in fact, counterproductive, makes us poorer, of course, less free as well.
The Austrian alternative? A free market when it comes to money. If you'd like to learn more, visit Mises.org. For K2 News, I'm Nima Vidadi.